Pain teaches, pain protects, pain can save you from a lot of bad things in life.
Komm, einmal schnell.
Her lack of feeling pain is not as bad as we feel it for her.
Det verste jo det med at det jo ingen som kan forstå det før de har opplevd det på nærhold. Ingen kan fortelle det til noen hva som egentlig skjer.
She knows she's different. I've told her many times that her body doesn't work the same way as her sister's. And that's just the way God made her. Careful. The nerves that carry the pain signal from anywhere on the surface of her body to her brain, it never gets to the brain. She feels no pain.
When I first found out that she doesn't feel pain, I was like, wow, relief. Oh, wow. That's something easy that we can deal with. Then you start thinking about it.
I'm doing a silly dance.
You're doing a silly dance?
All the time I think, will she get to go through school without a wheelchair?
This is Ariel. She's going swimming.
People always think of pain. Oh, if I could get rid of the pain. I'm thinking, you do not even know how lucky you are that you can feel it. Katie came along and really with very little interruption to our life. I mean, she was such a good baby.
Where are you going to go with those keys? Huh?
She did have some bad ear infections, and she had tubes put in when she was 10 months. And we, at that point, really, that was so dramatic. I remember being so upset, talking to an anesthesiologist, and oh, here was my little precious daughter getting anesthesia. I mean, and that's really scary anytime you do it. Well, now I look back at that and I crack up thinking, oh, if I only knew what I was headed for, that would be such a joke, but it was really traumatic. Retrospectively, it was disgustingly easy. So, you know, we thought, oh, this is easy, this is fun, let's have one more. And then Gabby was born.
How old is she? Say no days old. She was born today.
Birth was pretty textbook.
Easy, actually, compared to Katie.
I remember as soon as she was born, you're asking me, is she okay? Is she okay? Yeah. She looked perfect. You know, got to cut the cord and all that stuff.
Say hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa.
The first thing I remember, the first hint of something being wrong, is that I could wake her up in the morning and she'd be so cold in the crib. She'd be very cold, amazingly cold. But then, you know, she'd wake right up and be happy, and I just remember that. It's one of the things that's sticking out in my mind. Is the first thing that I noticed that was a little different.
The other thing was when you're babies and they do the blood test.
The vitamin K test.
Yeah, the PKU, where they do a heel prick. She slept through that, and whereas Katie, you know, somebody poking a needle in your heel, and the nurse was stunned too. She's like, wow, she's sleeping right through that. What a good baby. Mm-hmm. Well, she never felt it, but we didn't know that. She was really an easy, wonderful baby for about the first 7-8 weeks of her life. About 4 months, she was an early teether, just like her sister. She started cutting teeth, and she had bit down through her skin. She would have bit down to the bone had I let her. It was just chewed up. It looked mangled and nasty. It looked like raw hamburger on her hand. The gnawing became severe. These 3 little fingers were just from below the nail to that first knuckle, just mush.
Well, we decided to pull her teeth because she was mutilating her fingers, and she chewed on her tongue like it was bubble gum. And she ended up in the hospital dehydrated because her tongue was so swollen she couldn't drink.
I've showed them to her. I've kept them all. She'd scratch, she'd bump, and never really cry. This is what they first started to check her body chemistry, just to figure out what was going on with her as a baby. And everything came back negative or within, absolutely clear, yellow, everything came back within completely normal limits. At this point, the doctors had done a drastic procedure on her eyes called tarsorrhaphy, which is literally sewing her eyelids shut to try to preserve the integrity of her cornea. She'd done so much damage, sticking her own fingers and thumbs directly into her eyes.
She regressed from, like a 14, 15-month-old child back to a 6-month-old who just sat in her own house, didn't have any interest in wanting to play with toys. She was just distraught. I mean, she was, we couldn't explain to her what the heck was going on. It was horrible. It was like watching your child take, 50 steps backwards.
This is the part of her life where we're supposed to be showing her the world, and teaching her, showing her new things, and she's just she's pulling into a shell.
During the time where she had the tarsorrhaphy, the eye sewn shut, she would try anything to try to open up those stitches, or she was just, and at the same time always cutting a few new teeth. So she was damaging or hurting herself so much. So we kept her in what are called either pediatric arm restraints or sometimes no-nos, I think are one. These are a special pair we ordered through a lab in California. These were her Sunday go to church pair. And what they did is they wrapped around her arm, you kind of put, I'll just show you on her little baby doll, you kind of put this part, there's like hard plastic or wood or something inside here to keep the arm from bending, and we would slide her into them and wrap her little arm in there. But of course her arms were long enough, her wrist stuck out so she could use her hand, but she could not bend her elbow, so she couldn't get to the stitches. She could only go like this, so she couldn't bend to get her fingers to her mouth and hurt herself that way.
She was just starting to the point where she was starting to walk and explore, and all of a sudden we're tying her down and putting a blindfold on her and putting the no-nos on her. We had to tape the no-nos on with packing tape, and she would still figure out how to get them off. It was
horrible.
Yeah.
You felt like you were torturing your child.
We had to keep her in the no-nos all the time unless she could sit right in front of her and play with her. And even then, you'd look away for 1 second. Like, what was that, honey? Oh yeah, right away. And you'd look back and she'd have her finger in her eye. Oh my God. And it was, you're watching your child go blind right in front of you. You're trying everything you can try, and she's still going blind. Doing everything that the experts tell you to do, and nothing's working. And then that's when I just went ahead and did these goggles. It seemed to make sense.
These are both just more regular day wear. When they get a little bit more scratched up or a little more destroyed on the lenses, I try to just use them for nighttime.
Another layer of protection to keep her fingers out. I could drill holes in them to let some ventilation in, but not too much. You still keep the eye moist. And we went and did it. And
within a week, she was really wearing them really well for us. And she was not even a year and a half.
Help? Help with what?
Yes.
Des, do you want to play doctor?
Yes.
You want, because you're sick and you want to try to feel better?
Good job. Oh, let's get this eye too, and I'll put a pressure drop in it too. Blink.
Well, we got one eye that's pretty good right now, and one eye with glaucoma. We'd rather have two eyes that are pretty good. When she started rubbing her eyes, she started rubbing both eyes and scratching both eyes, so we started putting the gel in both eyes. Okay, here, look up. And she started rubbing them more and more.
We noticed some bulging of the one eye. Looked buggy, it looked like she was like a big bug eye. And that's when they first measured the pressure and discovered the pressure in that eye had gone up considerably. It was glaucoma.
Which is a side effect of long-term use of Maxitrol, which is the gel that we were using.
So she gave herself damaged eyes, and we gave her the glaucoma from the medication.
If we knew now what we know then, she'd be in those restraints 24 hours a day, never get out of them. Put a mask over her face, whatever we need to do to protect her eyesight.
By the time Gabby was 2.5, She had been hospitalized and been injured, multiple times. Febrile seizures because she couldn't regulate temperature as a baby. She was just prone to having really bad fever seizures, losing a lot of her teeth or having them pulled or broken, broken jaw, losing eyesight, lots of scrapes and bruises, burns. She had a bad burn with hot steam humidifier last winter. Never realized. We thought we had it so tucked away in her room. So she got second-degree burns on her arm and her back, right through her pajamas. I never noticed it till I took the pajamas off that morning. Like in this area.
There's like a little scar right there.
Yeah, but it looks almost like a birthmark.
Yeah. Well, and
Or was it the other hand?
And in her back.
Because it was in her back. It was on this side of her back. There's like a little spot. That looks like a bruise, but it was more right in here. Lots of bleeding that went unnoticed for a minute or two until it's a big puddle. Stitches in the head. Yep. Good chunk, knock out of her head.
Scratching her nose. When her nose would get plugged, she'd scratch her nose until her nose would bleed. I mean, the outside of her nose would bleed.
Cut her lip with her own scissors.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Slammed finger in the door.
Oh yeah, slammed finger.
Fall down the stairs. Dog knocked her down the stairs.
I'm trying to think. You name it. About the only thing that hasn't happened is like stove, because I've always been really paranoid about that, or
the hot water.
Water. She's been real good. And Steve turned that down. Turned on the hot water heater. Yeah. Cold water first. I taught her long ago. We always turn this one on, even before she could really talk to me. I would just always say, let's turn the cold water on first. I probably did it for Katie, really teaching her without realizing it, but it just became imperative for Gabby. How you doing there? Woo!
If Gabby doesn't feel pain, what does she feel?
She feels touch.
Look at the bow on Gabby's head.
Touch and pain are different nerves. So she can feel texture. She feels soft, hard. But she feels pressure, we're pretty sure. She knows when she slammed her hand in the door or pinched herself or done something.
Gabby, don't eat that. I know it looks like chocolate cake, but it's not.
Let's go, sleep boy. Roscoe, settle down. Ow.
Roscoe, come here.
We've told her that it's good for her to say ow because it lets people know she's bumped or, hit something. The other day, I don't know if she showed you her finger. She slammed it into the hall closet, and I heard her from upstairs. I was upstairs putting clothes away. She said, "Ow, Mom, I'm bleeding." And Katie said, "Mom, she says she's bleeding." And I ran downstairs. Sure enough, she'd pinched her finger. Can we see your finger, Gabby? Which one? The dark one. No, the one that has the dark spot. Other hand. She doesn't even remember.
Looks like it's bleeding.
It scares me that a kid could walk up to her with a pin or a knife and cut her arm to see if she screams.
Who is having fun at their first day of preschool?
As far as Gabby knows, Gabby is perfectly normal. This is how she's supposed to be. She doesn't know anything different.
Now we're going to sing to Griffin. Sing hello to Griffin, sing hello to Griffin. Come on, everyone, sing hello to Griffin. Hi, Griffin.
I'm worried that they'll kind of treat her differently because she is wearing her glasses, isn't potty trained.
For potty, yeah. But
I'm trying so hard.
some questions though whether she can really feel when she needs to go all the time.
Just kind of all those things that make her stand out.
Ethan asked Gabby why Gabby wore goggles.
Mom, I'm not wearing goggles anymore.
Oh, what would happen if you didn't wear goggles, though, Gabby? Can you tell us? You want to tell me what would happen if you didn't have your goggles on?
I don't know.
Can you show them how you put your goggles back
Show them
on?
how you put them on. Aren't they colorful? Then I asked if she would like to talk about it, and she mentioned that she didn't, and she wants to tell Mom that she's not going to wear them anymore. So. I like how you included your goggles, though, in your picture of yourself, Gabby. That was really neat. I see them right here. Wonderful.
Some days she can be the sweetest, cutest little. Do you want some chocolate milk before you take a nap?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go inside. But if you hit the trigger point, she like changes like into Linda Blair.
And she is really starting to use her knowledge of her own disability to her, really, it's to her disadvantage in the long run.
Oh, sorry.
She is playing herself against us and threatening to hurt us or to hurt herself. Don't hit your foot against the wall. Would you like So to go she see doesn't Rusty? have to do the things she's supposed to do, such as pick up her room, pick up her toys, help clean up, put books back on a shelf that she took off. And that's getting really hard and annoying to deal with. We are here today to meet with Dr. Sharon Berry. She was a child psychologist recommended to us.
No.
But there are things Gabby does that really worry us. She's been scratching herself or me to get out of doing something or just to get attention. She said yesterday, "I don't like Daddy. I don't like him. I hate you, Mommy. I'll kill you." I don't think she understood what that really meant, but she knew it was supposed to provoke me or Steve.
One time in church, we had a cement floor at church. She was starting a little bit. I took her out in the back of the church so where she can really relax a little bit. She continued to throw a fit, and she was sitting down on the carpeted floor. She snapped her head back so hard it smashed her head on the cement so hard that people 20 feet away turned around and looked.
And I knew what it was. I just went,
That's
brain damage time, yeah.
Or even death. I mean, smash your head out.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not just that we want our little daughter to be perfect in public. There's like serious consequences here too that we need to get a handle on.
Exactly. I mean, what kind of conversations have you had with her about what's going on with her? Do you have any?
Lately she's been saying, "Mommy, I want to be just like Katie." And I just try to stress to her, "Honey, nobody's just like Katie. Katie's there's only one Katie Gingras in the whole world. And there's only one Gabby Gingras." And she's not buying it.
Look like we're climbing up a mountain.
Katie's helped out a lot. I mean, you talk about Gabby coming out of her shell. A lot of that is because Katie plays with her and so nicely. She is an awesome big sister.
It's your birthday, right? Is it
Without Katie, we wouldn't be here today. I mean, she's that important.
Because she's my favorite little sissy, and she's the only one. You push, Mom. Push? All right. Push ball for me.
I always felt torn. Is Katie getting what she needs from us? I know she loves school and loves making new friends and loves the new things she's attempting.
Oh, too fast. You want to hop down and go swing? Okay.
I don't want to
You know, I'm sure at some point, maybe when she's 13, some of it may come back and she'll say, "But you never did this," or I don't know.
I want that swing.
I'm already panicking that she's going to have the perfect child syndrome and not want to come home with anything less than, a 4.0 and, hitting the home run in the baseball and playing. Oh, totally.
It's a lot of responsibility being Gabby's big sister, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really a big job for being a big to be a big sister with a little sister that doesn't feel no pain. The hardest part is, when she gets mad, sometimes she, wants to throw things at me. It's harder for me to protect myself.
Today I heard the big, "But it's not fair. Blah, blah, blah. I always have to. Gabby never had." And it's true. I mean, sometimes she does. We treat her like she's much older and much more mature than she really is. And we have to remember, wait a minute, she's only 7 years old. Yes, she's bright and fun and excellent with her sister, but she really is a little kid.
Sometimes when I was little and we first had Gabby, I thought she knew specialer than me, but I wasn't. Yeah, but both. You're both really special. Nice. And that's the water tunnel.
A lot of tunnels, yeah.
It's another surgery and probably a line of many in her life. What if she loses a limb? Do I fall apart at that point?
We ready?
Today we're removing Gabrielle's left eye.
Here, Gabby. Some medicine for you. Open up.
She has a blind, painful eye that the cornea, that's the front, the clear window in the front of the eye keeps breaking down. And the concern is that it would eventually get infected and she could get an infection that could go behind the eye and potentially to the brain, that kind of thing. So we're trying to prevent those sort of complications.
Is that good stuff? What did it taste like?
Bubble gum.
Bubble gum. About how long?
Hard to say.
I don't know how long
do you think?
for surgery.
Yeah.
Surgery itself takes about an hour with anesthesia, probably an hour and a half.
Okay.
And I'll come right out. Once we're done, I'll come right out and talk to you guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Harrison.
She'll do great. During the surgery, once we remove the eye, we need to put something in to fill the space that the eye was in the orbit. So we're using what's called a hydroxyapatite sphere, which is actually coral. And we wrap it in a donor sclera, which is the white part of the eye. And that allows me to sew the muscles to the implant so that the implant, so that eye will move with her other eye after surgery.
Losing your eyes is so big. Everything you do revolves around eyesight. Taking vacation or learning, even as simple as playing dolls in the house, it revolves around eyesight. We've got one eye, we don't have a spare, we got nothing to fall back on.
You can't predict the future. You've got to make the best choices for now.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to make the wrong choice and then make her future less enjoyable.
Right. Dr. Harrison should come to the door any time now.
But everything just went beautifully. No problems, nothing unexpected.
Okay, that's always,
No.
that's good to hear.
So yeah.
See, you're quizzing me.
Her voice is really gravelly because of the breathing tube that they had down her throat. And she's mad because she doesn't sound like a girl, she sounds like a lion.
I know, because your eyes are really swollen and they gave you lots of medicine. But
She just knows that she's got this big patch over her bad eye and she's not happy. Other than that, Mom's rocking her. We were reading her stories a little while ago, so. And I'm on a mission to get some chocolate milk. Help smooth her throat. Just try to keep her comfortable. Try to make her happy as we can. And get through it.
I can't fall apart now. Steve can't fall apart. I need him today. She needs both of us. So emotionally, it went pretty well.
Careful, honey. No, it's behind you. It's right behind your toe, right behind your heel. Right, there you go. Careful. Woo. Gently. Careful. Oh, you okay, Pumpkin? Are you okay? Careful.
Now, the main thing is keeping her good eye healthy, making sure that we don't ever get an infection or do anything to hurt the one eye she's down to.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
she's always like this ever since she was a little baby. She just loved that caress.
Do you want to go home tomorrow, honey?
We're going to take out Gabby's prosthetic eye and we have to clean it. So we're going to do that right now. Or Trish is going to do it right now.
Yeah.
I want to see my prosthetic.
You want to see how beautiful it looks?
What's that proportion? What's that white dot?
The white?
Yeah,
the white
dot.
The white? The red dot, you mean?
The white dot.
White dot.
That's the glare from the other sun,
yeah,
from the
that's
other
just
light.
the glare. Here, look at it this way. Now, is there a white dot now?
No.
You know, we talk about getting a glass eye, everybody thinks it's a piece of glass. Well, it's not. It's a piece of porous, sterilized ocean coral. And the reason they use that is so that the muscles and tissues can grow into the coral and attach themselves to the coral.
Okay, lean back again for me. Just relax.
It's a routine you get into.
There you go. Hold it.
It's not too bad once you start doing it every night.
There you go. Blink, 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 blink. Did I get it right? Look around. No, I didn't. Where's the red dot? Look over that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, close your eyes. Can you sit up and look?
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I got it. It's the red dot.
Try over me.
Oh, okay.
Now blink.
Now blink.
Blink, blink. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay, let go. Blink, blink. There it is.
There. Much better, hey? Because everybody's that's seen her, that hadn't seen her in a while, it's so dramatic to see her face look so normally shaped and to see two eyes looking at you, even though the one doesn't see. But it looks so nice. Makes a difference to how people view you. And, you know, she looks more normal, which sounds silly, but really it helps to go to school and to have other kids. And wearing the swim goggles is, you know, different enough.
We're on the 33rd floor of the Hilton Towers in Midtown Manhattan. We're getting ready to go to the Montel Williams show. We have a half an hour before we have to be downstairs. We're running out of time. Did you hear me, girls? Yep, typical. With all the women in my house. The only one who listens to me is the dog. We're gonna go on Montel because of Gabby. We're gonna get to tell her story to the nation and to the world.
I didn't pack one either.
I think I'm fat enough, it'll be okay.
It's fine. Hopefully reach more families through Montel's viewership.
We have 25 minutes, girls.
We've had a little rough morning with Big Sister, saying how things are just not fair, and we're showing preferential treatment to Little Sister, but I'm hoping part of that was just way overexcitement, way too much stimulation last night, the big airplane ride.
I really wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty today, but we had to go to the Montel Williams show.
So how does it make you feel?
Kinda mad.
Go ahead.
But I just really wanted to see the Statue of Liberty. I never saw the Statue of Liberty in my whole entire life, so that's why I really wanted to see the Statue of Liberty today.
Did you clean the plungers and stuff?
No.
Okay, grab some more of the... We need some more of these then. Gabby really doesn't realize it's all about her. She's pretty excited to meet some of the other people that are going to be on the show, especially Paris Feltner, the little girl who's so allergic to sunlight.
We're going to be putting Gabby's scleral lens in right now.
No, I don't want my one.
Put it on this little holder. We got to fill it with saline. Okay, Gabby, roll over on your belly.
No.
Roll over on your belly.
No.
Do you want to see Paris today?
Trish.
Gabby, do you want to see Paris today?
Yeah.
She really wants to see you, and you could see her, but you know how sometimes
I see better than you.
Oh, you might. I think you probably do. But you know what? It helps protect your eye too, and just like Paris has to wear her suit to protect her from the sun, you have to wear your lens to protect your eye.
You got to fill it with water, and then you have to do it upside down so that it stays in the lens, and you got to plop it in her eye. And then if you squeeze this, it releases the suction on the lens. If you do it all right, there's no bubble. Then use a flashlight to look.
I want the green one.
And there's no bubbles. 5 more minutes.
We want to be able to go.
More ducky?
I almost forgot.
You pretty much take that everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, I love it so much now.
You lose it?
Why do you love it so much?
Because I love ducks. I want to keep this. I don't want to give it away.
Is there a duck on there?
No.
It's just called Ducky?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to bring that with you on the Montel show?
Yeah.
I did. Let's do this thing. We're meeting the other families in the lobby of the hotel, and then they're going to take us over to the show.
Very respectful. Careful. Careful.
She seems very excited.
Well, we told you. It's not necessarily about Montel.
I'm going to
It's all about Paris.
Paris.
And for me, it's all the statue. I'm going to see you.
Come here, Gabby. Stay here. Stay here. Give her a hug. We'll go give her a hug.
Tell her you'll see
Hold
her.
on. Oh.
She has such a rare condition, she can't be exposed to any ultraviolet light. Well, when I read that story to Gabby and she heard about another girl who had to do really special and unusual things to protect herself and had to really adapt her whole family and whole life to her way, I think something in that story touched Gabby. Can you turn around now, Gabby, and look this way?
Gabby, look at Daddy.
And she realized, wait a minute, we have so much in common. Paris, can she have one more hug? She's been waiting a long time to meet you, sweetie.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, one more, Gabby. Can you give her one more hug? Oh, thank you, sweetie.
I'm sure I got the cameras back where they belong. Hi, I'm Steve.
Hi, Jennifer.
This is my wife, Trisha.
Trisha, so nice to meet you.
Okay.
I read your story. It was the first one I read at a June issue, and I read it to her because I thought so much similarity of changing and adapting to deal with life.
Now, what is her condition?
And,
It's called congenital insensitivity to pain. She doesn't feel pain at all.
And so does she have her goggles on just because she wants them on, or do you have to have them on?
She's got the sense of touch, but she doesn't feel pain at all.
Oh, okay.
So you feel an instant connection with those people?
Yeah, definitely.
What's that? What do you
Well, just the connection of having a special child that is different and, I don't know, kind of coming together.
Should be pulling up any second.
Okay. I feel pretty good. I feel relaxed. A little nervous.
No, we have to wait for Jennifer. What's she said? Are you worried at all about her acting up? Or?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, we gotta go upstairs, Gabby.
We gotta go upstairs.
Bye-bye. They're coming down the stairs. They're going the elevator.
Bye, everyone. Okay.
I feel that we didn't get a chance to tell much of the story. We cut that episode short. Yeah, he was screaming.
They're gonna send us.
Keep going, Parker. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.
I think my friends are gonna be really disappointed about it because they really wanted to see me.
I need a paper for you there.
What kind of day was this for you?
A cranky day.
Gabby had a major meltdown. They ran about an hour and a half later than they planned. And all the waiting. It's the excitement of meeting Paris.
Gabby wants to sit by you, and I'll sit in the other side.
Seeing her, talking to her, and playing. It was probably overstimulating.
I get like my cow. Yeah,
You didn't want to see him?
that can't even count.
Why not?
No, I saw. Because I didn't want
You didn't like Montel?
No.
It could have been a lot better, but she's only 4 years old. It's not her fault by any means. And what do? You roll with it, and we're going to go see the Statue of Liberty tomorrow. We're going to Times Square tonight. How bad can it be?
I got some light bulb and it got really burned up.
And then what? What did we put on it?
Band-aid.
Bandage with burn medicine?
Yeah.
This is the light bulb, and it's a three-way light, and we always leave it at the highest one, so give more light so she can see better. It's 250 watts. It's pretty hot, and she just grabbed the whole light bulb like she was grabbing a baseball.
I grabbed it like this.
Yeah. How did you grab it?
Like this.
Yeah, and that's why you got blisters on your hands and fingers. On a normal person, it'd be very painful. So we want to know what the next hurdle is, because we can't go open a book and read what the next thing is going to be. We can't call up a neighbor who might have had something like this. It's so rare that we don't know what the next thing is going to be.
Some days are rough. And it seems lately that I don't get good sleep. And I don't know if it's stress. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm much heavier than I used to be too. I think when you've dealt with a sick kid for 4 years, and then you realize this is a lifelong condition, and that can just, get pretty heavy at times.
Is this what we signed up for? No. But this is where we are. This is the reality, and this is what we have to do.
We've met families that have lost their kids. So at the same time, so what if our kid is blind? So what if she ends up in a wheelchair? We've got her. We can hold her. We can love her.
Again.
Ready, set, go.
Look at the bottom. Say it again.
Ready, set, go.
We can still go places with her. Some of those parents can't. I can't. That's something I can't imagine. I call it a journey. A journey that you just can't plan for. You can't. There's no one else to talk to.
This is my new mermaid. She's swimming on top of the water. She's swimming
She
on
loves
top
beluga
of the
whales.
water.
Will she, will she do spring break sometime, or can we take her to Florida? And I don't know, just stupid stuff like that. Could she ever have children?
You take your baby with you everywhere?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he likes me. Because she likes me.
Well, I worry, I guess. Some things I don't. We've got her. She's pretty healthy. We'll do everything we can to fight for her, to protect her.
Are you ready to have mac and cheese? Okay, come on, let's go.
Her is healthy and vibrant.
One day at a time. Deal with the best you can.
Jeg heter Grete Reistad, jeg bor på Hitra. I tror you like living here, and we think it's the best for the kids.
I am Leah. I am Karina. I am Petter.
Jeg er gift med Petter. Hun er veldig guttejente, men bare det siste året hun prøvde å være veldig guttete, men hun er så aktiv at hun liker best gutteting. Men hun er jo veldig glad, og hun liker folk, og hun liker å gjøre ting.
Hun er høyt og lagt på en gang, og så skal alt skje før det egentlig skjer. Hun må alltid være 2 hakk før alle andre.
Hun er veldig hardfør. Vi har måttet være smerten for henne og fulgt henne 2 meter bak. At the night and morning and the evening. If we're gonna think all these things that could happen, So what can we do? Lay down and cry? Ja, jeg skal bare fortelle litt om at for Miriam sitt liv. Når hun var liten så klorte hun seg mye i kinnene, og beit seg mye i munnen, og på fingrene og på hendene. Og når tennene kom frem, beit hun veldig mye inn i munnen og på tunga, og hadde everything was flesh and blood.
And she did that while she was sleeping?
Yes, that was early morning. We get the doctor home and we take the cab to Kristiansand and get to the hospital. She have they've given her blood, medicine for the infection. Og på såren hun fikk alle plass hadde betennelse. Synet ble ødelagt, men det gjorde ikke.
Oh, they thought that she scratched herself so much that the sight would, that she would be blind.
Hun fikk indre blødninger i bakhodet, for hun heiv seg gjentatte ganger bakover. At det finnes hjelpemidler for sånt, og da fikk vi en hjelm. Look at her eyes.
Den her vil ikke lenger.
I senere tid har vi blitt fortalt av leger at de trodde det var vi som mishandlet henne. På grunn av at hun hadde så ofte sår og sår i ansiktet og over hele kroppen.
Det verste er jo det med at det er jo ingen som kan forstå det før de har opplevd det på nærhold. De kan fortelle det til noen hva som egentlig skjer.
Hun er veldig hardfør, så vi har måttet være smerten for henne og fulgt henne 2 meter bak.
Oh, wow, the way she sits, now you can see the way with her feet out like that. They had to teach her to sit right, because that was hurting her knees. And I didn't realize that.
I senere tid har vi blitt fortalt av leger at de trodde det var vi som mishandlet henne. Når hun hopper, så demper hun dårlig i beina, og det går ut over hele kroppen. Og hun er aldri redd for å gjøre noen ting. Derfor må vi hjelpe henne hele tiden til å huske på at hun må være forsiktig.
You don't feel any pain, you don't fall carefully, you just kind of fall hard.
Når hun ble 20 år, så forandret hun seg helt. Med dårlig oppførsel.
Hallo.
Hallo.
Hun forresten at når hun piper skal gå på do, for jeg skal kunne gå på do.
Okay, she has a watch, that's what she's wearing.
Can I see?
She is telling me that every time it beeps, it tells her, you know, that she should go to the bathroom. So it's a reminder for her that now it's time to go potty.
Is it almost time?
Det snart. Skal du snart gå nå? Det lenge til å pipe, tror du? She's not sure.
And that helps her remember?
Da husker du å gå på do når den piper?
Ja.
Yeah, that helps her.
Hun blir videre fulgt litt på Rikshospitalet i Oslo nå. Vi kan fortsette å prøve å ta vare på best mulig måte, og så skal vi prøve å Nå som 20-åring har hun fått spesiallagde sko, og etter flere beinskader og brudd og overtråkk, og med osteomyelitt til følge, og ingen riktig vet hvordan skal takle dette. Det siste ortosen eller skinnen på beina ble brukt fra september og nå, og det har hjulpet veldig. Hun har ikke blitt verre. Og anklene må behandles av fysioterapeut.
Does she feel that when you're doing it?
Yeah, she's... Du känner detta, va? Mm. She does feel everything I do. And she feels it when I move the joint. Yeah.
Hun har vel egentlig ikke blitt bedre, men hun har ikke blitt verre, for å si det sånn. Derimot belastningen i knærne, hofte og rygg forandrer seg nå, så det må vi prøve å hjelpe til med.
The most important thing what I'm doing today is that I touch her skin so that the blood circulation is getting better. The most important thing for Miriam is to learn about how the body works, I think, and to learn about her skeleton and her joints and how the veins and nerves are working, and why she should do stuff and why she shouldn't do other stuff. Why she shouldn't jump from a high 3 or something.
We are with the chiropractor.
Come on. I've known Miriam since she was 2 years old, and I've seen her about once a month since that. Because this area, lumbar's supposed to go down like that. I don't know if you can notice this bump here. And this has never been here before, not as much as this today. So there's probably something going on in here, which we need to do x-rays before I even touch it. I always go through the whole spine, the pelvis, knees, and ankles. The knees are not that swollen right now, I'm sorry. But they used to be very swollen before she got the orthosis. But now the musculature in the ankle is reduced a lot since she started wearing these. And then there's some difference in the hips. The hips are bad because they're not moving good enough because of the orthosis.
How do you feel about her future?
I'm very concerned about the legs, or the ankles. And from what I've been told, she has to go with those orthosis, maybe, or actually for the rest of her life.
Det største problemet nok at ingen riktig vet hva som skjer med kroppen. De kaller det bare en forandring i beina. Vi prøver å få opplysninger om andre tilfeller, men derfor det er altfor sjelden til at noen egentlig forsker på dette her.
But we're trying to live like normal people. But it feels like everything gets harder and just try to do normal things with Miriam.
Hun kan ikke gå så mye på tur og sparke fotball og ville aktiviteter fordi at det er for risikabelt. Dette i tanken vil prøve å finne aktiviteter som gir henne styrke i kroppen. Og det siste kicket som hun ofte ønsker med fart og spenning. For eksempel kjøpe en firehjuler. Vi prøver å svømme med henne, gå og ri.
Sometimes I'm afraid she's gonna fall off and hurt herself. Because you can't say when she's hurt or...
Vad ska du säga för? Yeah?
Has that happened before? Yeah, she fell off one time down there. But it's, I'm okay. But I don't know whether she's okay. I checked her and she looked okay.
It's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now she gets tired a lot and she rests in a wheelchair.
Skader beina sine ikke så veldig mye, men det blir aldri friskt igjen. Så hun måtte sitte i rullestol for at ikke hun skulle bli verre. Men så prøvde vi nye ting med spesiallagd sko og med sånn ortosen. Og etter hvert så har det blitt en avlaster for beina. Sånn at nå blir rullestolen bare brukt når hun bestemmer det selv og er trøtt. Men han er veldig god hjelp.
She says he knows that she doesn't have can't feel any pain. She doesn't have any feelings, but that she doesn't feel any pain.
And do they do something different because of that?
Når dere leker med Miriam, så gjør dere noe annerledes enn når dere leker med andre. Er dere litt mer forsiktige, eller leker dere akkurat som vanlig? Yeah, they say they play just like with everybody else, and she said she's a little bit more careful around Miriam.
Miriam didn't want to use the wheelchair when she was really needed. She just tried to have some fun with the wheelchair. And then she likes it better to have a rest in it.
Miriam er kjempeflink med sykdommen og flink hun klarer det egentlig veldig godt, men hun er forferdelig mange nedturer. Hun er veldig deprimert, men samtidig så hun er kjempeflink til å bli veldig glad. Selvfølgelig når hun har de dårlige dagene, så har vi alle veldig dårlige dager. Da griner vi mye, men det er masse latter. Det går som regel alltid veldig utover, særlig Karina, storesøster, så du kan ødelegge både huset hjemme og personer. She's confused, I think. She don't like all the things we do with Mary because she never be with us.
En god hjelper. She's a good helper.
What's the hardest part about being a big sister to a little sister who doesn't feel pain?
Hva er det vanskeligste med å være storesøster til Miriam som ikke kjenner noen ting gjør vondt?
Det har jo egentlig vært sånn at hun har gjort ganske mye vondt med meg.
Because she has given her some pain. I mean, sometimes when she's angry, she lets it out on her sister. And that's been the hardest part.
How do you guys deal with this together? I mean, how do you deal with it?
Vi har ikke noe valg, så vi må bare gjøre så godt vi kan.
Something every week, every day.
You just have to take one day at a time.
I wonder if Miriam is boy or girl today. No, she's gonna show us. Du bare se hva du synes er fint. I want to go back to girly day. Alt dette er jo jenteting.
Ja, hun liker ikke.
Miriam get in a job as a boy. No, she's a girl.
How long as you want?
Ta-da. We think she's going to be great when she's grown up.
My name is Jamila. I'm 10. And there is the Stadt. The town. The town. I'm from Bonn.
She's in a very good mood. Es wäre nichts gewesen. going to the movies now with some friends.
This is the Lokomotivführer, das ist der Junge, das ist das Mädchen, das ist der Tannenbaum. It's very nice.
She's not shy at all. She won't talk to anyone. She will do what she wants. I think she's a very happy child.
She is normal. If you see her everyday life, you would never have the idea that she is special or that there is something wrong.
Can you tell me what is something, say, different about you than other children?
Was? Du sollst sagen, was an dir anders ist als an anderen Kindern.
In Deutsch?
Mhm.
Ich spüre keinen Schmerz, sondern nur Druck.
I don't feel pain, I only feel pressure.
No one really believed me that she doesn't feel pain. She got burnt and she didn't scream. And I went to the doctor and he looked at it and said, can't be that bad because otherwise she would scream. And I said, well, she's always been like that.
In the beginning it was difficult.
He had a hard time believing that this child doesn't feel pain. And that was the big problem. I think if she had bit off some of her finger or something like that, he would have believed it earlier.
At least I had to accept that she is definitely different, and then we started to try to find out what it is.
There were many things which were different. When she was teething, she didn't scream. Then she ironed her hand because she didn't want to have wrinkles in it. We visited a friend. She had a horse, and this horse bit into her hand. I screamed because I imagined her fingers being bit off. She didn't say one word. She just, you saw the teeth, you saw everything. Every other child would have screamed. She didn't say anything. She just said, he doesn't have good habits. What else was? Well, really believing it was when she first burned herself. We were baking waffles, and we didn't notice that Jamila burned herself until a friend of ours said, look at your daughter, her arm's all red, and she was sticking to the waffle machine.
And then I looked up some pediatricians here, and they all told me she's a normal child, but it's my fault. I would not be strict enough. They also didn't believe me that she doesn't feel pain. And that was really hard because she had injuries, or they then thought that I was abusing her. And if you abuse a child here, or someone thinks you do that, they go to the town hall, and then some people come and they check it up. It was very hard on us.
Jamila broke her skull because she fell out of a car seat, and we had to go to the hospital, and the hospital called the authorities. They came without calling. They just visit you without telling you that they're coming. And they interviewed our son, who was 3 years old, and asked us if we would mistreat him or spank him a lot. And he was really sweet. He said, once only I got popo patch, which means a small spanking on my behind, but it was my own fault. It was a very weird feeling having these people in your house. For sure, it's a good thing that you have people who do this, but you really feel bad if you also have to deal with people who think you mistreat your child.
And then we found out about this doctor in the States. And that's the first time we went to the States, Dr. Sladky. And he wrote me a letter saying that she doesn't feel pain. And that's why the town leaves us alone now.
How about your son? How has he handled being the older brother?
Now they have a normal relationship. And they tease each other. They hit each other. They
Love each other.
They love each other. They help each other. It used to be different. Farid was this boy who took over very much responsibility and felt guilty when she had taken the medication of the dog and had to have her stomach pumped out. And he was the one who woke us up in the morning and said, I'm sorry, I was sleeping, I didn't notice it.
And one time she fire his hair. My parents are on the balcony. Nobody are there, and she looks up and the hair get fire, and I put it out with the hand, and I scream, Mom, Dad, she gets fire on her hairs, and yes, like nothing's happened.
He was always a really good, quiet boy. As a baby, he was like that. And we grew up with a boy who, he was perfect. Always trying to please us, to take care of her. And I think that was something where he suffered, and we didn't notice it.
How old was he when you took him to the psychiatrist?
7 and a half.
He was there 1 year.
But he liked it. I think we never had to force him going there. He loved to go there, and it was for him like going to a good friend.
She gave him the attention, the understanding. She explained it to him. And I think that was a very important time. And now he feels he's the big brother.
Was denn?
He notices that we take him as a full adult. And that there's a big difference between the two of them. I know now that I can't compare both children with each other.
Yeah.
I have to take them the way they are.
The difference between both kids is if Farid is entering a room, he's tall and he's big, but you don't notice him as much. If Jamila is in, the room is full. It doesn't matter how big the room is full.
Bleib normal, Lila.
Ganz normal.
Und Farid auch. Du kriegst seinen Kopf kaum, seinen Kopf bewegt.
I think most important was really that she didn't know it until she was 9.
Was hat sie getan?
Sie hat ihn verarscht und das sollte man nicht tun.
Then she was able to understand it.
Ich wollte einfach eine Woche ungefähr. 1-2 Wochen.
How do you explain someone who doesn't feel pain how it is when someone else feels pain? So I got a needle, a big one, and I poked myself, and then I poked her, and she didn't react, and then I really poked very deep, and
On you or on her? Or both?
on her. I said, I can't do it with myself because I really feel pain. It would hurt me. I tried to show her the difference that if I do it lightly, even with my skin, it doesn't hurt me, but I feel it. But if I really do it deep, it would hurt me. And then she asked me if it would be the same if I took a knife. And so I went to the kitchen and I got a knife. Yeah, and I scratched her deep. And she looked, she was watching it, and she said, I don't feel it. I said, yeah, and that's your problem. That's why you're different. And that's why you have to be very careful. Maybe most parents would say, how could you poke a needle in her skin? How could you take a knife? That's what they told me here. But how do you explain someone the difference? It was really frustrating for her in school. There were 4 boys who really tortured her.
Ja, dann haben die mich aufgehört zu verprügeln.
Wann haben sie das? Sie haben dich verprügelt. They beat her up when they found out.
3 Jahre.
3 years long.
That is the picture showing Jamila. This is Lorena. And these are three comrades from a class, which causes a lot of problems, which beating her up, checking if it's true that she has no pain.
They pitched her, they pulled her hair, they kicked her in her stomach. I mean, not just, kicking, they really kicked her.
At school?
Yes.
The teachers didn't do anything?
No, I had not getan. Hat nichts getan, weil immer wenn wir das ich ihr gesagt habe und Lorena, da hat nichts getan, der Lehrer und die Lehrerin.
Whenever I told the teacher, or Lorena told the teacher, that's her friend, the teacher didn't do anything.
So mit dem Messer rumgefummelt und hat so den Taschenmesser rausgenommen, hat aufgeklappt und wollte immer so dran. Dann haben wir es einmal den Lehrer erzählt. Da hat der richtigen Ärger bekommen.
When she came really with blue bruises home, I called the director of the school and I said, okay, that's it. If one of those boys touches my child again, I'm going to get a lawyer.
Geht ihr jetzt irgendwo hin, Sena?
She was asked to explain what the boys did to her, and she spoke clear, with no fear. She explained to the boys that it was definitely not nice and that she had problems with this and so on. And the boys, I think, they was a little bit shocked that she had no fear before them when she talked to this.
Wie hast du dich da gefühlt?
Ängstlich und sehr alleine.
I was frightened and very lonesome.
I think it was not that she was not traumatized by this. It was a big problem to her, but I think it didn't went too deep.
Jamila! What do you want to do? You can put on a helmet, because then these children are not accepted. Well, at least not here in Germany. People would look at her as if she was a weird person.
One big problem with living with her is you have to go to the shoe store regularly because she doesn't notice when they're too small. She also has problems as soon as it starts to get cold. She doesn't notice it, and so she has those frozen spots.
They're very dick.
Jamila has the problem that she doesn't know when she has to go to the bathroom until it's almost too late. So whenever she's somewhere new, in a restaurant or a classroom, she runs 10, 20, 30 times an hour to the toilet, just so she knows she can reach it on time.
She just doesn't only feel no pain, she also has attraction deficit syndrome, which is very difficult then to educate a child like that.
We're doing her homework she forgot to do last week. It's written in here, the teacher, she always writes down what Jamila's homework is supposed to be. Yeah?
Kasten, der Kasten, ein Kasten.
Maybe we have an easier life than other parents because we don't overprotect her, because we don't spend 24 hours a day with her, because sometimes even we forget it.
Oh, the hope for the future is the same what I would wish to my son Farid. To be happy, to have good friends,
We are best friends.
to get a good job.
She wants to become a veterinarian.
She had her own way to touch them, to treat them.
She just has a feeling for it.
To accept what she is and maybe not to get the feeling that it's something negative. Because up to now it didn't infect her life in a negative way. People think that we are always controlling her, that is, our whole day is controlling her, which isn't. She's doing normal. Dann fahren wir vor, die kommt gleich nach. And I'm not afraid that something extraordinary would happen. Okay, if she would fall down, I think I would act like a normal father. I would go to my daughter and try to check if she's okay. But this has nothing to do with her disease. I'm more worried about what the dog is doing. She's doing the things by herself. Soll ich dich werfen? Nach vorne werfen?
Nein.
Komm, einmal schnell. Komm her. Und? She's riding with a bike by herself. She's doing things with her friends, running around and playing.
Komm, ich schmeiß dich noch mal.
Okay, ich weiß. Yes, this is one of the secrets that we never make a fuss out of it. What happens will happen.